on this computer. This morning I recorded the class, and when I went to upload it to YouTube, I couldn't find it on my computer. So I don't know what I did different, but I didn't do anything different. So I'm hoping that this afternoon's class will record and be uploadable for you to be able to use at your leisure. If not, then I think there are at least enough of the tutorials that will cover any questions that you may have, or you just let me know if I can help you in any way. Today, we are going to go through our basic 6. I'll give you some things that have come up this past week in some of my other classes that may be helpful for you. And, I'll let you lead me through any kind of questions that you may have. And then if we get a chance, then I hope that we can move to our advanced movement, starting with brush knee to the left. I think it's the left. The left. That for our advanced movements, but it's no stress. We don't have to rush. We don't have to, rush and get there. So we can take our time. I'm here for you. Just know that whatever we learn, if you get a chance to practice it, that's our goal. So you can move forward each time you come to class and learning new things. Before we get started, do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
No, I don't have any.
All righty. Well, then we'll start off by getting our bodies warmed up, walking around the room, open and closing our hands, bending our elbows, just doing whatever we can do to get our bodies warmed up and ready for exercise. Anytime that we exercise, we want to warm up first so that we reduce our chance of injury. I want to say too that always listen to your body. We have good days and bad days with our bodies, whether you have arthritis or you don't have arthritis. Sometimes we have pains and we can't do what we could do yesterday, and that's okay. But listen to your body. And so if at any time that you need to take a pause and, just watch or do the movement seated, always listen to your body. That's just number one rule. Safety is most important. And so if your body's not feeling it today, that's fine. You can still learn, you can still get something out of class. But definitely starting with warm bodies. Our weather has cooled down just a little bit, but we're not obviously in winter freezing temperature months. And I say that because our bodies are warmer in the summertime just because of the temperature. Same thing in the wintertime when it's cold outside, it takes a little bit more to get our bodies warmed up. All right, so we should be good and warmed up. As you get your body situated, just check in and make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. Just now when I lowered my arms, I realized I had some tension in those shoulders, and it's easy to just tense up. And so just check in with yourself throughout the day, throughout the class, to make sure you aren't holding tension anywhere. And also making sure that you're breathing, because that's something that's easy to do too, is to hold your breath. So we'll start off by getting our bodies in a nice stable stance. Our feet are shoulder width, hip width, or whatever width that makes you feel very stable. Our weight is on both legs. There's a soft bend in my knee. I have a good posture, just like a string that's pulled up and down at the same time. My shoulders are relaxed. And I'm breathing. Let's start off with our neck. So we bring our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest. We push away from our bodies and follow our hands all the way down. Bring our hands up, towards our chin and chest. Push away from our bodies and follow those hands all the way down. You should feel a little stretch in the back of your neck. Our other neck exercise starts out that same way. Here, drop one hand to our hip. Follow this as you look over that shoulder. Come back to the front. Switch hands. Stretch in that neck. You to think about as you switch your hands to just think about that smooth and continuous movement. So there's nothing sharp. You're not just going, switch. There's a little bit of a smoothness to that switch as you bring that hand down to your hip and bring this hand up for your head to follow. So take some time to really think about that transition just right here. Smoothly switch those hands. Take your time in the switch and then follow that hand as you look towards that shoulder. Just letting that movement stretch your neck ever so slightly. Continuing to breathe. I could get lost in this movement. My neck is generally just stiff. And that's from a lot of factors. Driving, sitting at a desk, watching TV. It's just so many factors. Let's go to our shoulders. So our hands are to our sides and we're just doing small circles as we roll them forward first. And then roll them back. That should feel like a little massage for yourself. Again, that's another one I could just get lost in because it feels like a little massage. Let's do a big shoulder circle where we bring our hands up, palms down, and then we push them down in front of us. Inhale up and exhale down. Grab our ball. Let's grab our ball. We're going to separate the heavens and the earth. So the hand that's on top is going to push down towards the ground. The hand that's on the bottom comes up and pushes towards that ceiling. Come back down to the ball and switch. Inhale. Exhale as you separate. Camera may be a little bit off. Let me lift that camera up. That way you can see the top as you separate and really stretch that spine. Remembering to keep a soft bend in your elbow, not to completely lock those joints. In your time from side to side. And last time. Come back to your ball. Now let's take that ball side to side. Hand on top tells us the direction we're going. We're only going above that knee. So we're not going way over here. We're not going to start twisting our spine and putting that pressure on that knee. It's also a reminder of that movement that's in waving hands and clouds. The torso movement and the hands go along for the ride is the same with the waving hands and clouds. Don't forget to breathe. And down. Give your body a little shake as we move the whole top body part. Our weight stayed on both legs. So as we move to the bottom, our lower body, where we start shifting weight, maybe our feet needed a little bit of break. So it's good to give your body a little shake every now and again. So moving to our hip movements, we shift our weight to one leg. We place our heel out forward and our hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. Pause. Heel forward, hands back. Pause. Toe back, hands forward. Good time to check on your breath as we move into more difficult movements where our weight shifts a lot. We tend to hold our breath, shift the weight to that other leg. Heel, pause, toe. Check your posture. Make sure you're not having any tension as you go through this movement. Shift our weight side to side. We stack our hands. We take them in the direction of the weight shift, staying within our frame, and tap that toe out. Continuing to breathe, checking for tension, keeping our bodies upright as we transfer the weight. Loose fists down at our hips. We're going to shift our weight, lift and tap our toe out, and punch opposite hand. This one's for our knees. Shift, lift, tap and punch. Had to pause there. I felt myself losing my balance, and see, that's okay. You just feel that you're a little wobbly on that foot. Put the foot down, regroup, readjust your posture, whatever you need to get back to balance, and then start again. In your time as you shift the weight. Now let's step out. And I just want to remind you, let me turn to the side. As we step out, it's a small step. Our back foot is going to stay flat on the ground. As we shift the weight, we don't shift all of our weight to the front foot, and we don't extend our knee past our toe. So it's just a slight weight shift, shift side to side, small step, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side. So it's very important to leave that back foot flat on the floor and keep that upright posture versus lifting that foot. You saw my body immediately jump forwards. And so that goes towards falling. So that foot planted down grounds us and helps us be more stable. So just keep that in mind, that that back foot stays flat on the ground. Back, side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. I really like this movement because it helps us practice so many things about principle. Yes, our posture, of course, there's weight transfer, and that weight transfer happens side to side and front and back. So it can really give an all around strength exercise for our stabilizer muscles in our legs, and help us just practice the feel of Tai Chi. There's we can do gentle resistance, but that fluid movement is there. So that's one of my favorite pull-out movements that just helps you with balance. Next is for our ankles. We shift our weight to one leg and heel toe, rocking that foot, working on the mobility of our ankle joint. Switch to the other leg, heel toe, heel toe. Back, shift the weight and go side to side. Big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, side to side. Continuing to breathe, come back, other foot, little toe, big toe, side to side.
I keep wanting to go too far.
Too far what? On your ankle movement?
When I move my feet up, I'm trying to move too far.
Well, that's good that you
saying-
recognize that. Because when we recognize that, oh, that's too much, make the adjustment, and that means that you have learned it. We're not always going to be perfect. I know sometimes I catch myself stepping too big or doing a follow step that's too close, and I can just make the adjustment. But when I feel that it's wrong, to me, that's gold, because that's something that I can fix. It's doing it wrong and not even being aware that you're doing it wrong. That can be a safety problem. So great that you recognize that. So make the adjustment, and don't worry if you do it again, because that, that happens too. All right. Huh?
I said, as long as I catch it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
That's
keep
right.
repeating.
That's exactly right. All right, so we're going to move into our basic 6 movement, and starting with the movement commencement. So here's what commencement looks like. We bring our hands up and down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. So that's our first 2 movements. This is something that came up this past week, and the lady couldn't figure out why she was so far ahead of me. And so we explored all the movements, and this is what we came up with. So I thought I would share it with y'all in case you're doing the same thing. So in the upper body movement of commencement, when we bring our hands up, they're away from our bodies. So we're not locked out, but we're away from our bodies. We come up that way. So when we come down, we're still away from our bodies. Then we come towards our bodies, and then back up our bodies, and then away from our bodies. So that is all the moves. It's up, down, in, up, out, and back in. So it's all of those movements. So what she was doing was coming up, down, in, and instead of coming up to go out, she went from down here, she went diagonal. So she missed the whole up, then out. She went from here to there. So that's why she was far ahead of me in our movement. So make sure that you're going through that full movement. Now, I have been there where I had a goal of doing a continuous movement. And because of that, it's real easy to kind of do skip the full movement because you're trying to be continuous. So just keep that in mind. And something that I told the class was to think of it as drawing a U. Okay, so when we come up and out, okay, let's draw a U. We go down, curve the bottom of the U, up. So there's the U. Now let's finish that movement by going out and then back in. So think of that as a U, and then maybe you're less likely to skip that part. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying she caught herself, and I thought, well, I'll share that this week, and then it may be helpful to somebody else. So it's up. Let's draw a U, down, curve up, and then out and in. So that's the nature of the movement right there. Okay. So the footwork, huh?
Don't we come in and
Come in and
inhale and exhale there?
and then open and close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Open and close is the second movement. We just
Okay.
usually put it together with the first one because it just makes sense and it's easy.
Okay.
So we come up, down, let's draw that U, out, and in, and now open and close. The footwork is coming from a stable stance, feet apart, weight on both feet. We're going to shift the weight to the right foot. We're going to small empty step, which means no weight goes on that foot. With the left, shift left, and then bring the right foot forward. So the footwork of commencement is a step forward. Shift right, step left, empty, no weight just yet. Now give it weight and right foot forward. So remember in Tai Chi, we have that empty step. Even if it's just momentarily without weight, that initial step is an empty, no weight given step. And that just takes practice because we are so used to walking just and immediately shifting weight. That's how we normally walk from day to day. And so this is just something that we have to be conscious of and practice. Okay, so let's practice that. It is a shift right, step empty left, shift left, and right foot forward. So there's some timing that goes with our hands. I really love for you to explore the weight or the direction of our hands with that weight shift. So when those hands go down, that's when the weight goes down into that right leg. When our hands go out, that's whenever the weight goes out or forward on into that left leg. Okay, so let's put them together when we bring our hands up, down, shift right, step left, step empty, remember no weight, finish drawing that U. Now our hands go out when we shift the weight to that left foot, bring that right foot forward, and the hands come back, open and close. All right, so let's do it again and commence. Up, down, shift right, step left, finish drawing that U, Shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close.
I can't see you.
Well, why can't you?
I don't know. It says getting things ready for you.
Getting things ready.
Yeah.
Wonder what is getting ready.
Where's continuing? Huh?
I love technology. Do you know what happened this morning? Miss Gwen, her tablet overheated and just shut off. Have y'all ever had that done? Have y'all done that before?
We're starting over.
You're
It
starting
says
over.
start video call.
Say that again.
It's on there that join us for Tai Chi via Zoom at 1:30 p.m. EST every Tuesday. Start video call.
Can you just X that out? Push close.
Yeah, I can close it.
Okay, see if I come back.
My the face part of it that shows where everything is. Messages, photos, games, exercises, events, and I want to know. That's what I'm seeing.
Huh.
And the screen is white. Now it's gone back to the screen showing that with the tree. I don't have.
I'm going to push ask to start video. What happens now?
I don't have anything except the what's on the face, the tree with all the balls on there.
All right, scroll to events, and where it says Tai Chi 1:30, where you were just where it said start video, push start video and see what happens.
Video call.
Yeah, see what happens if you push that.
Nice video call.
Yeah, just see what happens.
Right, you've come back.
Okay. Well, yay, we fixed it.
I was just going along and it just changed.
Technology.
I didn't even touch
it. Well, we got it figured out. So that's what's most important. So commencement and open and close. We have talked about that, but we regrouped and talked about the U so that you can practice that U. We've talked about the hand coming down and the weight shifting down to that right leg, and then our weight shifting to the left foot as our hands go out, making the connection between the hand movement and the weight shift. So that helps you start to become more fluid in your movements when you connect what the hands are doing with what's going on with the legs. So just keep practicing that, and it'll get better and better. So next we will do our single whip and waving hands in clouds to the right. Has an open close in the middle. And then we'll single whip and wave hands in clouds to the left, ending with open and close, and then closing it out. So those are our basic 6. I have your sheet right here that has your words on it. Step, well, you can see it. Step, switch, turn, and shift. And you can see where they're bracketed together, meaning that you step and switch.
The picture that's up here in the corner is blocking the top part.
You can take your finger and put it on top of that picture and just move it out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it work?
It did, but I've got the other lady down, not you.
Oh. Well, just move it wherever you need it to be. But this is our 4 words, which equates to our 4 movements And then we can do 2 at a time, step and switch and turn and shift on our waving hands and clouds. So I just have that here for you to reference if that's helpful. If not, just ignore it. But our goal is do those movements and make it a smooth, continuous, controlled movement. All right, so we're right here from open and close. We're going into our first single whip to our right. So we're going to shift our weight to our left foot, step out with our right and adjust our weight, push our hands away from us, turn our hands and separate with our eyes and head following our left hand. Our eyes and head follow the hand that's opposite of the foot we stepped out with. Chunt, dun, and separate there. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands and clouds. We step, switch our hands, turn, shift, step, switch, 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 turn, shift, step. You get the rhythm. Switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Back to the middle for open and close. Now we'll single whip, waving hands and clouds to the left. We shift right, step out left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. Now we're ready for our 4 words. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. So back to the top of those movements where we do our first single whip. Coming from open and close, we shift, step out. Now when we step out, remember that's an empty step. Then we adjust the weight to where there's weight on both feet. Push it, turn, and follow. Now here we're going to start combining those words. So we step and switch, turn and shift. 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 To the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step left, adjust that weight. Push, turn, separate, following the right hand. Now let's combine some words through our waving hands and clouds. Step and switch, shift and turn. 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 Step and switch, shift and turn, and to the middle for open and close. And close it out. All right, how do you feel about all of those movements? Commencement, open and close, single whip, and waving hands in clouds.
Okay. Okay.
Feel good? Okay, Miss Linda, you doing good with those?
I
Do
don't
you
know what's
have
the matter. I don't know what's
Ma'am?
happened to me. I
You
said,
don't
I
know
don't know
what's
what's
happened
happened to me. I'm just not being able to follow the
Do
feet
you-
and the arms or hands.
Okay,
I'm
you
I-
could try seated and just do the arm movements for a little bit. Because
Well,
sometimes doing hands and feet at the same time, it can be overwhelming. You can stay standing and do the upper body movements and not worry about the steps. Okay, so let's just do the upper body movements from the beginning of commencement. So we bring our hands up, down, in and up, out, in, open and close. Single whip, we push our hands out, turn, separate, following that left hand. Bring that hand down, waving hands in clouds. So we turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Single whip, we push out, turn, separate, following that right hand. Waving hands in clouds, let's switch our hands and turn. Switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. So that's just our upper body. Now, if you do Tai Chi seated or seated Tai Chi, then it is that upper body movements that I just did seated. So if you want to, I don't have my chair in here. I moved my chair the other day. Let me bring this one over. This one's kind of tricky because it has arms. But if you ever want to try the movement seated, here I have my feet shoulder width apart. I still have good posture. So it's not like I'm just laid back in my chair, just enjoying the afternoon and, going to do some Tai Chi. That's not what we're doing here. Even in a seated version, we engage our bodies. We have the good posture. We make sure our feet are grounded and separated, just like if we were standing. And whenever we go through our arm movements of commencement, open and close, single whip. Whoops, I went to the wrong side, sorry. When we do the hand movements seated, we can push our feet into the floor, okay? So when we don't have to even know that when we bring our hands down, we shift our weight to our right leg. We don't have to know that. But what we can do is when we bring our hands down, push one foot into the floor. If it's your right, fine. If it's your left, fine. Just get some engagement of your legs where you're pushing it into the ground. So push that foot into the floor. And then Release it and push the other leg into the floor. Release it, push the other leg into the floor. So that you're doing a kind of a march of sorts with pushing weight into your feet. And so that's how you can engage muscle. Now let's just say, whoo, that's way too many things going on because it's overwhelming. So don't do anything with your legs. Do your arm movements. Let's do them. Commence up. And if you're standing, Miss Mary Ruth, just go through this standing. Down, in, up, out, back in. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. So that time, of course, I kept my body in an upright posture. My feet were shoulder width apart. I had no tension in my shoulders. My body's fully engaged, but I did nothing with my legs. I simply did the upper body exercises. So you can do that and then get your body in a good place where you feel supported and safe. You can hold on to the sides of your chair, whatever is most comfortable, and continue to have good posture, but push those feet into the floor. Just push one foot, release it, push the other foot, release it. So it's almost like you're marching in place, but you're engaging weight, engaging muscle, by pushing weight into the floor, and you're in control of how much. So that's a way you can not have to do both together, but still engage the muscle. So that gives you some options, especially on those days whenever, you're just not able.
I'm having some knee problems.
And we have good and bad days. If you remember last week, I couldn't bend this finger. It just did not want to cooperate, but today it's bending okay. So just listen to your body and go, today this is what I'm gonna do. Let me move this chair back. So however you decide to practice, do that. Let's go through our basic 6 several times in a row and get more and more familiar with it, because the more you practice, the easier it is. I mean, it's just how you learn is by practicing. So here we go from the top and commence.
I don't see you.
Open and close. I don't know what happened, but you might have to go, like I said, to your events and then that video call.
It doesn't go to that directly. It showed me the other lady. It's moving from you to her.
Well, I can't see Jennifer. I just see you.
You just see me?
Yeah.
Can you scroll over top my picture and pin me?
Now I see Jennifer. Whenever you talk, then you comes up in front of Jennifer.
I'm seeing now, now whatever you have done is put you back, showing you.
So Jennifer is up here right now.
Yeah.
All right. I think I put me as a spotlight when I thought, I think before I had myself pinned. Now, what's the difference in those two? I don't understand, but
I
they're
don't understand
spotlight
that
for
either.
everyone. It says the host has spotlighted your video for everyone. So maybe I'm in the spotlight and maybe I'll
You are
stay
now.
there. Oh, yeah, y'all are so forgiving with this fun technology. I appreciate y'all's patience with it. So
But you
let's
got a
go
lot of
back.
patience too.
Well, I usually defer to laughter because I'm not smart enough to like really understand it. I just know what happens if you push that or try that. I'm willing to click around, and I know I'm not gonna blow anything up. So all right. So here we go. Let's do some more of our practice of our basic 6. Oh, and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. Again, commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. Do you like practicing without me talking? Just calling out the names of the movements?
Whatever you want to do.
Or do you prefer me talking you through it?
Yeah.
You
To
like
me.
talking? All right.
Yeah.
I'll talk you through it. Here we go. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift, step, adjust, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Right foot, right hand back as I shift left, waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, shift and turn. 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 To the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Right hand. Shift, bring that right foot left foot, left hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, shift and turn. 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 To the middle for open and close. And close it out. All right, let's do it again. I'm sorry about the right and left. You know, I struggle with that. Here we go. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as the hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn. To the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. Let's do one last time without me talking, just for practice. It's good to let you go and start using your brain and relying on yourself. One last time and then we'll cool down and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. Very good. Let's give ourselves a fist massage. That's hard work for our legs. Doing all that weight shifting, you might not realize how sore you'll get from doing Tai Chi. And this is a way to help relieve some of that soreness.
Yep.
And then go ahead. We're going to say something?
No, I just said, yep.
Yeah, you do get sore. Now let's gather tension and remind ourselves that's not how we want to live. So we want to let it go. Because tension can cause pain. So come in, tense, and relax. Come in, tense, and relax. And relax. Relax. Big shoulder circle up and down. Great time to practice breath. Inhale as you come up and exhale as you push down. One more. Now we'll cross fingers that the recording worked correctly. Do y'all have any questions for me?
No.
All right.
If you could get my body working better.
Just be patient with yourself. It takes time.
Yes.
It takes time to get all this going together.
I go to the Cross Church on Tuesday morning, and when I come back, I'm exhausted sometimes.
I bet. That's a lot of exercising in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, next week we'll do it again. Hopefully you'll have a little bit of time. Maybe you can practice a little bit or at least watch the videos, because watching is a way to help it absorb. And, it just all translates to doing it. But you just can't replace practice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I am thankful for y'all to join me today. We'll do it again next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, we're forgetting something.
Oh,
Yes.
good gracious. Okay, we have our right fist. That represents our strengths. We have our marbles. We have lost them. No, we have our left hand, our fingers together representing our friendship, our thumb in representing our humility. Thank you. I'm always not, it's always nice to be humbled. And put those together in mutual respect. We say, Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Miss
See you
Linda.
next week.
All righty.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Love you too.